Do rich people acquire special knowledge from being at the top? Or do they have it because in order to get to that level, you need some kind of inherent understanding about the way the world works? Well, it's a little bit of both. You need a foundation to get there, but once you're there, you're privy to an abundance of information that helps you to move up even faster. But luckily for us, from working closely with these people and for the ones kind enough to pass their knowledge down, we can put together the blueprint of being rich. Keep watching to find out 15 things rich people know about the world. Welcome to Alux. First up, something we've said before, you're never going to get rich working for someone else. Last week we did a video on 15 high-paying jobs. Every job on that list yields an annual salary of more than $120K. And that's a decent amount of money, but being rich is more than just about money. It's about having freedom. The freedom to go on holiday right now if you want to, or the freedom to buy whatever you like. When you work for someone else, you're constrained by their rules, their timelines. If you want to be rich, you have to be in a position to make your own rules. Time is money. We say this all the time because we want you to understand that while you're driving to the store, shopping for groceries, or mowing your lawn, you could be making money. You shouldn't be only making money when you've got the time for it. You should be making money when you're staring at the wall if that's what you want to do. Rich people know the more ways they can make money in a minute, the more freedom they have to do whatever they want. They know that even though they've spent money on a fancy dinner, that in that time they've actually made more than they've spent. Despite having freedom of choice, you still need to choose your work. This is the real kicker, okay? Being rich isn't endgame, it's just the beginning of another level. Even when they have the freedom to do whatever they want, they still choose to sleep under their desk and shower in the office when there is a big deadline looming. At some point, it's not even about the money, it's about the achievement and the thrill. If you can shift your mindset to seek the thrill along with the money, then it'll be easier for you to give up a night out drinking with your friends to focus on your side hustle. Sometimes you need to be more delusional than practical. Think about your top 5 or 10 favorite entrepreneurs, people who are, in your eyes, rich. Go research them and you'll come up with stories and find some mad adventures. Taking insane risks, being absolutely obsessed with a ridiculous idea, working behind the scenes on something for years while everyone thinks that what they're doing is a joke. There are few practical stories from rich people just starting out. They're all paragliding off mountains with no training. Sometimes they fall, they lick their wounds, and they hustle their way back up to the top. Sometimes they manage to fly. You need this kind of absurd, blind belief in yourself. It's why it's easier to take these risks when you're young and don't have anybody else depending on you. Wealth accumulation takes time or luck and... Look, okay, rich people know that wealth accumulation takes time or luck and that luck will find you when you're working. The average age of most millionaires is 57 years old. Of the 3,194 billionaires in the world, nearly half were between 50 and 70 years old. A clear majority of the world's billionaires are men. Now, it might sound like there are a lot of young millionaires, but that's only because they communicate using mediums we're familiar with. So know that accumulating wealth will take time. Just because it didn't happen immediately for you doesn't mean you should give up now. You might have to work at it for 2, 3, 4 decades even, but at some point, it will pay off. You're not going to get rich by only chasing the money. If you only have the numbers in your mind, you're going to take opportunities that will increase the numbers quickly and not opportunities that will provide a higher, steady stream over the long term. Let's say, for example, you've got a contract with a small company to make $15,000 in a month. At the same time, you're offered a contract with a larger company with multiple branches to do a small amount of work with the possibility of more, but that's offered at $5,000 over 4 months. You really want to go on that holiday and would much prefer to do a lot of work quickly. That makes total sense, and there may not be a right or wrong answer here, but it does show you that you're only chasing the numbers when you also need to be chasing longevity. Keep both of these things in mind when you're making decisions, and the direction you choose will be more well-rounded and better thought through. There's no such thing as retirement. Rich people don't retire. They may shift their focus, sure, but the idea of sitting at home on the porch day after day is really boring to them. Because in their mind, there's always more to conquer. There are always challenges to go after. They might take sabbaticals and decide on their next venture, but full-out retirement? Not gonna happen. Life can get pretty boring when you've got everything you want. So you have to find something new to be obsessed with. Whether it's yourself, your children, your company, your horse, it's gonna be really unsatisfying when your obsession is material things and you can get whatever material thing you want. You keep life interesting by being obsessed with different things, no matter how bizarre it might seem to other people. You have to make a conscious decision about the kind of rich person you are. You're either going to be the type who displays your wealth, or the kind who knows they have so much they don't care about flashing it in people's faces. Think Kardashian rich, with the gaudy houses, customized luxury cars, dripping in jewels and expensive brands, versus Zuckerberg rich, walking around in sweats and driving a Honda Fit. For the former, your wealth is often tied to your display of wealth. You make money by showing people you have money because you believe that others will invest in you because you're rich. While with the latter, your wealth is built on your underlying influence, which you don't want people to notice, so you tone it down and blend in. You have to choose what kind of rich you're trying to be and then maintain that persona or brand to be considered a reliable investment. Your personal home is not an asset. This is more foundational knowledge rather than something you learn once you've made it. Aspiring to own a home is great, but you have to know that if you buy a home and then move into it yourself, it is not an asset. You're losing money from it, not making money. It's a better idea to buy a home, rent it out, and then rent a much cheaper apartment for yourself, especially if you're young and single. You don't need to live in a big place, even if you can afford it. Even if you buy a place and then stay with your parents for a few years, you're still turning your purchase into an asset. You must set up other income streams as soon as possible. The initial setup of other income streams takes some dedicated focus and time, but it's better to set them up when you're young because you have more time. Ideally, you wouldn't be working yet, so you're not jaded and exhausted when you're working on it. If you can do it while you're still studying, then great. Your brain is wired for action and your body isn't tired from working for someone else for hours on end just yet. You're not going to get rich spending all of your money on yourself. When you're working toward being rich, spending below your means is essential, okay? You're not going to get rich if your expenses continuously go up along with your income. Influencer culture has made us believe that we can buy whatever we want and still be rich. We see those ordinary people making thousands with a single post, buying whatever they want and having influence over thousands of people. But the truth is, to get there, many influencers had to go into some major debt that they struggle to pay off even once they're earning a decent amount. And many of them also come from really good socioeconomic backgrounds, wealthy families. So get rid of the idea that you have to craft an illusion of wealth in order to be wealthy. You must diversify your investment accounts. Here's some more foundational knowledge because, of course, the mega-rich already know this, but you'd be surprised how many people have made the mistake of making risky investments and losing everything. It's okay to take risks, but make sure that everything you have doesn't live in one account. This might seem like common sense, but we've seen all too often how people lose everything when a company goes bankrupt or they make some bad calls with their money. Even if you're investing a few hundred a month, it should be allocated to at least a couple of different areas. And if it's all going to the same place, you need to know that investment space inside and out. Donating to charities is also a financial benefit. Now, it feels a little bit callous to put it this way, but in addition to giving to charities being a good deed, it also helps you out financially. In many countries, when you make a donation to a registered charity, you can submit the tax receipt you receive and then get a tax credit, often up to 50% of your donation. You also save on capital gains. The rich don't just donate out of the goodness of their hearts, it's good for their wallets too. And finally, hire coaches and advisors to help you. Even if you're not rich yet, working with a financial coach for a few sessions will be incredibly helpful. It's a great investment. The rich know there are experts who enjoy learning about these things and keeping up with the latest trends, and it's easier to learn from them than it is to do all the research yourself. Even if you're still building your wealth, hiring a good coach or advisor within your price range is going to make a major difference in your life. And if this is still a little bit out of reach for you where you are now, that's exactly why we've created the Alux app. It's a high-performance coach right in your pocket. We pay the experts on your behalf. More than $1 million have gone into the Alux app experience so far, and for only $99 a year, you get top-level mentorship to level up your life. Go to Alux.com/app to get started today. All right, my friend, so to wrap all of this up, you might not be rich just yet, but there's nothing stopping you from thinking like a rich person. Follow these ideas and you'll be able to move up the money, freedom, and choice ladder a whole lot faster. Fake it till you make it has been proven to work time and time again. So we think it's time you put your multi-millionaire hat on and just go for it.